Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's go.
We are diving deep today into, well, the origin story, the absolute genesis point of one of the universe's most terrifying species.
And our sources point to this incredibly unique, almost desperate mission. It wasn't exploration, it was intervention.
Mandated.
Right, mandated by the Time Lords. They were apparently so worried about a future dominated by the Daleks that they basically rewound the clock.
They did. They foresaw this future where Daleks just completely overwhelmed everything, all other life forms. So they bypassed all their usual rules.
No asking permission then?
None. They effectively hijacked the Doctor, along with Harry Sullivan and Sarah Jane Smith, intercepted their transmat beam and sent them straight back.
Straight back to Skaro, just before the Daleks were, finalized.
Exactly, at the critical moment of creation. And the mission objective was pretty stark.
Yeah, it wasn't subtle. Prevent their creation entirely, or maybe alter their genetic development, make them less aggressive. Or, failing all that, at least find some kind of inherent fatal weakness they could exploit later. It was high-stakes stuff.
And their only way back, their safety net.
A single time ring. The Time Lord gave it to the Doctor, essentially his lifeline back to the TARDIS, assuming they could even get to it.
So they materialize, and where do they find themselves?
Instantly on Skaro. And it's not just a planet, it's a ruin. Desolate, fog everywhere, this endless battlefield.
The aftermath, or really the during, of this 1,000-year war between the Kaleds and the Thals.
Yes, and that environment immediately tells you something profound. It's perpetual twilight trenches, caved-in dugouts, tangled wire. Just bleak.
And the first clue they get about how messed up things are is the tech, right? They find a dead Kaled soldier.
Right, and he's wearing this synthetic fiber combat jacket, carrying a radiation detector. Sounds advanced, yeah.
Sounds like modern kit.
But then he's also got, like, a World War I style gas mask and an old projectile rifle. His uniform, made of animal skins. It's this bizarre jumble.
It makes no sense. Sophistication mixed with, well, primitive gear.
It's what the Doctor called it, finding the remains of a Stone Age man holding a transistor radio. It's regression.
So the war lasted so long they started running out of resources, maybe.
Yeah.
Or forgetting how things worked.
Possibly both. It suggests a civilization that's just been hollowed out by endless conflict, cannibalizing its own history just to keep fighting. Technology devolved even as the fighting continued.
And it wasn't just fighting the enemy, the Sauls. They were fighting, well, difference within their own ranks, too.
Absolutely. They get this rough welcome, artillery shelling forces them into a crater, and there's that moment with Harry Sullivan.
Oh, yeah, the minefield incident. Very brave.
Incredibly cool under pressure, stabilizing that landmine while the Doctor pulled his foot away. But after that, they encounter the Mutos.
The Mutos. Who are they exactly?
They're described as these scarred and twisted monsters, basically the genetic casualties of the war, generations exposed to chemical weapons, radiation.
And they were just cast out.
Exactly. Banished to the wastelands. It wasn't just bad luck, it was Kaled policy. The source material is pretty chilling on this. The Kaled race must be kept pure. The imperfect are rejected.
Wow. So that obsession with purity, that ideology, it's already there. It's the seed for what the Daleks become.
Precisely. It starts with rejecting the impure within their own society long before they design a machine to reject all other life.
So they eventually make their way towards the Kaled city.
Yeah, they see this huge semi-transparent dome covering the city. Protective. Inside, it's a stark contrast. The command post, General Ravon's HQ, is all smart uniforms, efficiency.
Unlike the ragged troops they saw outside.
Completely different world. And Ravon himself, he's young, hard-faced, almost hysterically shouting about the Kaled battle cry, total extermination of the Thals.
He sounds like just a military blowhard, though. Doesn't he get disarmed pretty quickly?
He does. The Doctor pulls his clever move, pretends to look at a map, knocks the blaster from Ravon's hand.
And Harry makes the catch, like a cricketer.
Born cricketer, exactly. But that little victory immediately reveals something important. Ravon might be shouting orders, but he holds no real power.
So who does?
Well, they meet Security Commander Niter, and it becomes instantly clear he's the one pulling the strings, or rather, relaying orders from the real power.
Which isn't the military command.
No, it's shifted. Niter mentions his requisitions need to be countersigned by Davros himself. That tells you everything. The power isn't with the generals anymore.
It's with the scientists in the bunker.
It's become a scientific dictatorship. The people designing the weapons are now running the show.
And that brings us squarely to Davros. Describe him. The sources are pretty vivid, aren't they?
Oh, incredibly. He's presented as this shattered, ruined remnant of what had once been a man. He survived an atomic shell strike, but barely.
He's essentially keeping himself alive with his own invention.
Yes, his mobile life support system. It is him, in a way. Parchment-thin skin stretched over a skull, one eye replaced by a lens, this withered claw for a hand. He's part machine, part dying flesh, kept going by pure will and technology.
He's like the physical embodiment of the war's end result.
Absolutely. A living casualty who refuses to die and is now channeling all that trauma into his work.
And Sarah Jane Smith is the first of the Doctor's group to see his ultimate creation, right?
She is. She stumbles upon Davros and his assistant, Garmin, testing the prototype. And it's described as this gleaming metal thing, rounded base, dome lens gun, and early Dalek jerky movements.
And the first command she hears Davros give it.
The iconic one, exterminate.
Chilling. The first word programmed into this new life form is a command to kill.
That single command defines everything that follows. But interestingly, it immediately causes a rift among the Kaled scientists themselves.
Not everyone was on board with Davros's vision.
Not at all. They meet senior researcher Ronson. He's actually quite kind, offers the Doctor, and Harry sees a small courtesy, but it stands out.
And he thinks Davros has gone too far.
He explicitly calls the project immoral. He believes Davros isn't just working on survival anymore. He's trying to create the ultimate creature by forcing mutations, skipping natural evolution entirely.
Ronson represents the conscience, maybe? The part of Kaled science that remembers ethics?
You could say that.
Ah.
He's resisting, trying to hold on to some moral line. And it's Ronson who does the security scan on the Doctor and Harry.
Ah, yes. What does that reveal?
Well, Harry's biological makeup is, comparable enough to Kaled norms, but the Doctor, Ronson says, nothing conforms to any known life form on this planet.
So the ultimate alien meeting the machine designed to destroy all aliens.
Precisely. And we see that programming in action almost immediately at a public demonstration. Davros shows off the voice control.
Move left, halt, circle, basic stuff.
Right. Then he fits it with the gun and the sucker arm.
Yeah.
And then he does the key thing. Puts it under total self-control. Lets it think for itself.
And its first independent rack?
It identifies the Doctor, croaks out, alien, exterminate, exterminate, exterminate.
It works perfectly then, from Davros's perspective.
Exactly. It's doing precisely what it was designed to do. But Ronson is horrified. He physically jumps in, hits the switch, saves the Doctor.
How does Davros react to that?
Fury. Absolute rage. Not because the test was interrupted, but because Ronson prioritized saving a worthless life. The Doctor's over, letting the Dalek follow its natural instinct to destroy everything alien. That tells you everything about Davros' priorities.
Ronson's defiance seems doomed from the start, though, given what Davros does next.
Oh, completely. Because while Ronson is worrying about morality, Davros is planning the ultimate betrayal. Section 4 in our sources outlines this incredible act.
He meets with the enemy, with the Thals.
Inside the Thal Launch Control Center, no less. He admits his own invention, the Kaled dome coating, makes the city impenetrable. But then
He gives them the key.
he gives them a simple chemical formula to weaken the dome's molecular structure, making it vulnerable.
Why? Why betray his entire race?
Pure self-preservation. Not of himself, but of his project. The Kaled government, what was left of it, was apparently getting nervous, about to investigate and probably suspend his Dalek experiments.
So he wipes out his own government, his own city, just to protect the Daleks.
Yes. He arranges for the Thals to do his dirty work so his bunker and the Dalek project can continue uninterrupted. His creation became more important than his species.
And the Thals launch the rocket.
Armed with destronic explosives being loaded by slave labor, including Sarah Jane and some Mutos, the rocket hits, the Kaled city's devastated, total destruction.
And in the chaos, the Doctor gets captured.
Captured by Davros faction, he's strapped into an electronic interrogation chamber. And Davros knows exactly how to make him talk.
He threatens Harry and Sarah.
Yes. They're strapped to tables, electrodes taped to their temples.
Yeah.
Davros threatens to inflict all the torments and agonies ever known on them, unless the Doctor cooperates.
Exploiting the Doctor's compassion. What does he want?
Future knowledge. He forces the Doctor to detail how the Daleks will eventually be defeated in the future. Specific strategic failures.
Oh, wow. So the Doctor has to reveal what,
Yeah.
like specific battles, weaknesses?
Exactly. He's forced to list things like the failed invasion of Earth, where they tried to mine the planet's core, a defeat on Mars caused by a virus attacking their casing insulation, failures in the Venusian colonies. It's a painful catalog of future Dalek losses.
And Davros records all of this.
Onto a tape spool, declaring its value beyond computation. He now has the intel to potentially prevent those future defeats.
This is disastrous. The Time Lord mission was meant to stop or hinder the Daleks.
And instead, the Doctor has unwillingly given Davros the roadmap to make them practically infallible. A catastrophic own goal forced upon him.
Does this trigger anything among the other Kaled scientists, the ones who survived the city's destruction?
It does. There's a growing fear. Scientists like Garman, Cavell, they utilize Davros is completely out of control, especially after seeing the city destroyed.
They try to organize.
Garman tries. He wants to get a majority vote among the remaining scientific elite to halt the Dalek project. He clings to this idea that the creatures must have a moral sense, the ability to judge between right and wrong.
That desire for a moral sense, even in the Daleks? It seems so central.
It is. It's the core philosophical tension. And it leads directly into the Doctor's own moment of crisis.
Right, because they escape, and they find the incubator room.
Yes, where the actual Dalek embryos are growing in these tanks, described as twisting, writhing things in this pulsating green light. Very creepy.
And they find their way out, the time ring.
They do, hidden near Ronson's desk, their lifeline. But before they can use it, the Doctor sets up explosives around the embryos. He has the detonator. This is it, the chance the Time Lord sent him for.
He can wipe them out. Right there. End it before it begins.
But he stops. He hesitates. And he asks Sarah that absolutely pivotal question. I could destroy the Daleks here and now, but do I have the right?
The ultimate ethical dilemma.
Exactly. He argues that maybe, just maybe, the sheer evil of the Daleks forces good things to happen elsewhere. It forces alliances, unity, heroism that wouldn't exist otherwise.
A necessary evil, almost.
That's the terrible thought he's grappling with. He compares it to killing a child who might grow up to be a dictator. He says if he commits genocide, even against the Daleks, I'll be no better than the Daleks myself.
So his conscience paralyzes him. He can't play God.
He can't. And that moment of hesitation is all Davros needs. Because just then, Garman bursts in, triumphant.
Graham, what?
Saying Davros has agreed to submit the project to a vote by the Scientific Council.
No relief. It seems like morality might win after all.
The Doctor certainly thinks so. He's relieved. He removes the detonator wires from the explosives, a huge mistake.
Because the meeting isn't a vote.
It's a trap, a purge. Davros gathers everyone in the main laboratory, pretends to call the meeting to order, then asks those loyal to him to step forward.
Identifying his allies?
And his enemies. Once he knows who's who, he declares only his few supporters are truly loyal. Then he presses a control.
Yeah.
Every door slides open. There's a Dalek waiting at each entrance. They glide in.
And exterminate everyone else. The scientists, the security, Garman, all of them.
Swift, brutal, efficient. It's the final proof that Davros got exactly what he wanted. A perfectly ruthless killing machine.
Is anyone spared? What about Niter, his loyal security chief?
Even Niter falls victim eventually. The irony is thick. He tries to interfere with the Dalek production line later, presumably trying to maintain some control for Davros, and the Daleks just exterminate him. Loyalty meant nothing.
The trail is just baked into the system now.
It seems to be. And then comes the ultimate confrontation. The creations finally turn on their creator.
The Daleks versus Davros.
He tries to assert his authority, shouting that famous line, I created you, I am your master. His whole megalomania summed up right there.
But the Daleks aren't having it.
Not at all. The lead Dalek's reply is cold, logical, and uses the information the Doctor gave Davros against him. Our programming does not permit us to acknowledge any creature superior to the Daleks.
They've evolved beyond him already.
Instantly. They reject his pleas for pity, stating they have no understanding of the word. Their programming is survival, evolution, dominance, nothing else.
And Davros.
He makes one last, desperate lunge for a master destructor switch, a final attempt to undo his creation.
Does he make it?
No. The Daleks fire. His chair, his life support explodes. He's gone. Killed by his own children.
So how did the Doctor and his companions get out of this mess?
Well, amidst the chaos of the Daleks taking over and the subsequent Thal attack on the bunker, they get help from some resistance fighters. Mutos like Severin and Thals like Betan. They manage to reach the spot where they left the time ring.
And zap, they're gone.
Back to the TARDIS, presumably, leaving Skaro behind. The Daleks are, for the moment, entombed in the destroyed bunker.
But not destroyed, just delayed.
Delayed by maybe 1,000 years, according to the Doctor's estimate.
Yeah.
But they're alive. And thanks to the Doctor's forced interrogation, they now possess knowledge that will make their eventual breakout even more terrifying.
So the mission was
Odd.
a failure, a partial success.
The Doctor calls it ruefully a kind of victory. They survived, which wasn't guaranteed. But he knows. He knows the Daleks will emerge and cause havoc and destruction for untold thousands of years.
But he still holds on to that idea from his moment of hesitation, doesn't he?
He does. As they dematerialize, his final thought, almost justification to himself, echoes. I also know that out of their great evil, some great good must come.
That idea, again, that ultimate evil necessitates an equal opposing force for good. That survival against the Daleks will forge something better in the universe.
It's a sliver of hope he clings to. The belief that the struggle itself, however horrific, might ultimately strengthen the survivors, force them to unite, to become better.
But it leaves us, and you listening, with that huge question, doesn't it? What possible good could ever truly balance the scales against the sheer, unadulterated evil of the Daleks? What level of heroism or unity could justify their existence?
That's the lingering shadow of Skaro. The ultimate cost, maybe still being paid. Something to ponder.
Definitely something to ponder. Until the next deep dive, keep digging.